You feeling comfortable too? I mean, that's the biggest run of your career last weekend on Sunday. It seemed like you had a little extra burst. No?
No, I feel good. I feel like, I always prepare well, practice how you play. And, it was one of those opportunities where there was blocked very well and there was just one guy to beat. And, in our running back room, when we get those opportunities where it's blocked like that and you're in open space and there's an open hole, you got to make the most of it. So, I was happy to have that hole and that opportunity and, obviously try to make the most of it.
When's the last time you high stepped like that?
I don't know. I just didn't want that guy to grab me by my feet behind me.
AJ, when you've been through kind of a challenging time, I know you keep your confidence, but what does a run like that do for you just to kind of solidify, hey, remember me, this is what I am?
Yeah, I mean, I always remembered who I am.
Right.
I don't know. I feel like I've been playing really well. I think, what that does for the offense, what it does for the team is great. Anytime you can have like an explosive play is great. So, obviously those big catches that we had a bunch in the last game, a big run like that, or a big play on defense, a turnover, like that kind of stuff ignites, the team. Or even some of the like 4-yard carries we might have, or breaking a couple tackles, or, fighting for those extra yards, that ignites the offensive line and, gets those people going. So it's all about, I feel like running back is one of those positions, kind of like a conductor, if you will. Like being out there, if you can get some things going on and people see you kind of, really straining, they're like, all right, like, let's go. He's locked in. He's really fighting right now. And so that's what I try to do. I know that's what 33 tries to do, just continue being that, like, kind of lead by example type person out there.
AJ, really quick, just with Keisean, on his return last week, can you just give me what's kind of going through your mind there as he kind of breaks that one open? Just how
Yeah.
big that moment is?
Trying to, get my wits about me back there as well. On KR, it's been a little bit, but, we always feel like when he's back there that he can take them all to the house. We break it down on house call. He's an electric guy back there, can make people miss, has the speed to go the distance, has done it before. And so when you're out there, I mean, for me, I'm just like, all right, let me find my guy. Let me just, try to give him a little bit of wiggle room because, if he gets a little crease or something, he's going to make the most of it. And, that's why we're happy to have, 2-5 back there.
You just told us if I don't score, I don't feel like I did anything.
Yeah.
That's a pretty tough self-grader, right?
Yeah, I mean, you got to be your own biggest critic. I know, I know Keisean's, he's a competitor. He wants to be great, in everything that he does. And so, he brings that kind of energy to practice or to like game of shoot around basketball. He's always that same guy. If he doesn't win, he doesn't score. He's not happy. So you like to have somebody like that that's a competitor that wants the best, not only for himself but for the team.
Early in the year, he was bringing them out from deep and getting to sometimes the 15-yard line. Is that all worth it because of potentially has to do what we saw last year, what we saw some of last year?
Yeah, I mean, it's not my job to say what's worth it and what's not. When I'm back there, I just got to do my job and block for him. But like I said, I mean, he's an electric guy, and so, he has that ability to go ahead and take him to the house. So, he's got to make his decision back there. Like I got to make my decision playing running back, and everybody has to do their job. And, I don't know what, all that. It's not my job.
With how you finish against the Rams and then how you played against the Steelers, I realize points and wins are what matter, but do you feel like you're getting somewhere on offense?
I think so. I was saying earlier that, I think just kind of, that last game, obviously, the most important stat's a win. We didn't get that, so, not exactly happy with it. But, there was a lot of moments that, you can look at and be like, oh, that was a great play. That was a great block or a great throw or a great run or great whatever on the offensive side of the ball. And that's something that, I feel like we keep building, and it's kind of silent. But, hopefully, though we can kind of keep building on this and roll into start turning those into some wins.
Jordan had some ups and downs the last couple of weeks. I know, again, you didn't win.
Yeah.
But that was probably his best game throwing the football.
Yeah.
How good was that to see as his friend and his team?
Yeah, I mean, it's always great to see Jordan out there, feeling confident, doing well. Always want the best for him. And, nobody really gets, like, too caught up in, what the stats and stuff like that. I felt like he was out there. He was playing confident. He was commanding the huddle in those tight situations. I mean, that was a tough atmosphere to play in, especially, for, like, people who hadn't necessarily, like, had so much experience in an environment like that. I mean, they were loud. They brought their, moxie or whatever. The towels were going. So for me to, kind of be in there, I've been in some of those situations before, but, Jordan's getting everybody lined up, getting everybody ready. He's like, hey, we got this. All we got to do, we got to go get a first down. We got to, things like that, reminding people to get out of bounds, stuff like that. So, that's what you want out of a leader. That's what you want out of your quarterback. And so from that point, I mean, stats are what they are. But, I felt like he was playing really confident, and I was happy to see him do that.
AJ, when it comes to the red zone, Matt said that, the key there is to be able to run the ball well. From a running back's perspective, like what kind of needs to take that next step for his red zone efficiency to take a step up?
Man, shoot, I don't know. That's just, I think, obviously just execution, and we just gotta get it in. If we're choosing to run down there, then we gotta just execute, and obviously we gotta find a way to get it in there. It's gotta be blocked well, assignments, details, things like that.
Do you think you're getting a little more production in the run game blocking from the tight ends than maybe earlier? I mean, they were young guys who were kind of learning the ropes.
Yeah.
Get more from them now?
I think that's, kind of the natural ebbs and flows of it. They're getting comfortable. They're not just getting their feet wet now. They got, 10 games under their belt. So, and they've been asked to play a lot. They're not just like rookies who kind of scattered in play by play. They've been in the majority of the games. So, I think, one thing I said, I forget when I said it, but I'm really happy with, all the rookies we have and how young the team is and all that stuff. I'm really happy with how all those guys are growing into, leaders themselves and, becoming professionals themselves. And, when I'm out there, I really don't notice it. I'm not like, oh, no, we got a rookie at tight end. Like, I'm like, I know Luke or Tucker or whoever, Josiah, is going to get that block and, help us spring off a long one. So, I'm definitely happy to run behind those guys any day.
Going back to the red zone, it's easy to hear that and think, oh, okay, well, it has to be a rushing touchdown. But even if it's not, how much of that is also just keeping the defense honest? Maybe being able to run it on first or second, just do something on third.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's one of those things where, I don't know. I'm not an offensive coordinator. I know there's like game plans and figuring out, what the team might see and tendencies and things like that. So, I mean, at the end of the day, you're down in the red zone, and I know everybody's going to say this. You just got to find a way to score. And so whether it's throwing the ball, running the ball, play action, whatever it is, we just got to start turning those trips down there into 7. And I think, we had a couple opportunities last week where, we didn't, but we also had some good, nice touchdowns too. So hopefully we can just keep building off that momentum.